men live.
Best example of love I had was with my pop. Best example of love I had was with my pops and his other woman. It's the best example of love. He loved her.
This interview was a brilliant interview. That clip in particular speaks to the nature of the fragmented masculine. I told you that men live their life on assignment and execution of said assignment, right? Usually when men have an assignment to execute, they have some sort of resource, some sort of reference point, right? So that they know how to move. They know what they have a template, okay? When a fragmented masculine grows up in the home without a physical template, it can evoke feelings of insecurity and fear when they're placed in a position to now execute an assignment that they don't have a reference point for. So a lot of them will look for reference points that look like them in other areas, whether that be a football coach, whether that be a gang member, wherever he feels like he can identify, whatever template he sees fit. That is what the fragmented male will gravitate towards, right? He needed a reference point. The only reference point he had was his daddy with the other woman versus how his daddy treated his mama. When he looked at that and he said, that's love, for the male interpretation of love, he was absolutely right. Men and women do not view, interpret, or integrate or process love in the same manner at all. When it comes to the topic of love, men and women speak two completely different languages. That is why communication between men and women when it comes to love is one of the hottest topics you will ever meet. Because we keep trying to blend, we're trying to make a hybrid language. Men interpret love and process love and display love as provision and protection. That's why if you need a Bible verse for it, where a man's heart is, that's where his treasure is. When a man cares about something, he takes care of it. He provides for it and he protects it. Think about how he does his Xbox. Think about how he does his J's. Think about how he does his watch collection. It's not just a woman. You can take anything and put it in that place. And if a man loves it, he will provide for it and he will protect it. Women are talking about some completely different shit. That's why the man always be getting frustrated when you be like, I feel like you don't love me. And he like, bitch, I'm doing all this shit for you. Right? So Roy Woods Jr. used that as a reference point. I'm not mad at that. The thing that I wanted to point out the most is how this interview does a brilliant job at displaying how we are conditioned to observe, honor, uphold, and uplift the legacy of a father versus the logistics of a mother. Men reward women with love based on compliance. If you do what they want you to do, if you act how they want you to act, if you perform how they want you to perform, they will reward you with love, protection, and provision. Simple as that. That man's mother, in some form, was not compliant. The woman who he ended up marrying, she was. That's why she got the love, the protection, and the provision. Men punish women who do not comply by withdrawing protection and provision, even at the detriment of their own child. A man does not have the same connection to a child as he does to as the mother does to the child. The man's connection to the child is based on the feelings towards the mother. So if he hates that woman, he's not gonna treat them children the same way. This was perfectly displayed. Roy Woods Jr.'s mother made a very logistical choice. She did what she needed to do. She had a contingency plan. But we don't speak to that. That interview, he does a beautiful job at wrapping that up. Because I wanted to see in the beginning if what I was seeing was what I was seeing, and it was true. We completely ignore the logistical moves that his mother had to make because of his father. And we uphold and protect and uplift the legacy of the father. We got to do better. And we got to start having the right conversations. Have a good one.